Hello everyone, and welcome to another Pathfinder adventure card game scenario. We're with the character Drelm, and this is scenario 1.2, level 1, scenario 2. We are over at the Scorched Obelisk. Drelm is making his rounds here. So we have at the Scorched Obelisk at this location. When you succeed at a check to defeat a Bane by 4 or more, you are dealt 1d4 electricity damage. Okay, not fun. So advancing the Blessings deck, it's a Blessing of the Ancients. The first card we get is a Blessing of Pharasma. So Intelligence, Arcane, Divine 5. Drelm has a Divine of D8 plus 3. And we rolled a 3. So we do acquire this card. It's always good to have a blessing in our hands. So what we're going to do now is we have the Fomet Clansman in our hand. So we're going to go ahead and use the Fomet Clansman to recharge this card, or discard this card to explore the location. If the top card of the Blessings deck is Blessing of the Ancients, and it is, you can recharge it. Okay, sweet. So that pesky dwarf that's been following Drelm around is doing some help here. Alright, and we get a hyena. Okay, so we did not examine this card, but it's going to be a little pesky because here it's a combat 9, relatively easy, but it's a Scorched Obelisk, we might take some damage. We're going to go ahead and use the Shotel. You know what's going to be interesting? Drelm could just straight up do a combat check because he has a D10 plus 3. That's very interesting. If we should just use, okay, we're gonna do it. We're gonna use the Shotel. Strength and melee plus 1d6. Okay, I like it. D10, D6. Okay, we're adding 3 to this roll. Might be dicey. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we roll 3, 4, 5, and we get to add 3. How about that? 5, 6, 7, 8. Shucks. So we actually failed that check. That's right. Because 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we failed this card. So what we're going to do is we have a Scarab Buckler. We can recharge this card to reduce combat damage by 3. We will recharge the Scarab Buckler, and the Hyena will get shuffled back into the deck. So the thing is that Drelm didn't really want to really defeat that creature by a lot because the Scorched Obelisk would have haunted him. Okay, roll and see which card is on top of the location deck. It's the first card. Okay, we are resetting Drelm's hand. And we are going to advance the Blessings deck. It's a Blessing of Thoth. And hey, we get the villain. Alright, so if we can destroy this villain, we can close the location. So before you act, each character at this location summons and encounters a henchman, Graven Guardian of Nethys. Okay, and once again, it's an easy defeat because it's a combat 12. He's immune to mental and poison. So difficulty to defeat is increased by the scenario's deck number. Okay, so this is scenario 1. He has a +2 modifier. So it says here, if we have a card that has the Nethys trait, we can defeat him, but we don't. Nothing in our hand has the Nethys trait, but that's a really cool effect. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. So it's a combat 14. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a straight up melee check, and we're going to use a Blessing of the Elements. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll 2d10, and we're going to add 3 to this roll, and I'm going to hope that that's enough. Alright, 2d10. Alright, so we rolled a 5, and another 5 is 10, 11, 12, 13. Awesome. So we defeated the Graven Guardian of Nethys. We had to waste a blessing. Or actually, no, hold on. We needed a 14. So I rolled 10, 13. Okay, so I did not make that check. But fortunately, I have this Feather of Mat in my hand. Boom, look at that. +1. +1. That's all we needed. That Feather of Mat turned out to be pretty useful. Okay, so we just barely defeated the Graven Guardian of Nethys. We didn't defeat it by 4 or more, so we don't have to worry about the Scorched Obelisk. And now we can go ahead and defeat this guy. So now what we're going to do, it's a combat 14, and we're going all out. Shotel, strength and melee plus 1d6. We're discarding this card to add 2 to each die you roll. We're going to go ahead and use a Blessing of Pharasma. discard this card to add 1 die on any check, which is awesome because we're going to add a 2. So that means we're adding a total of 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. We add 9 to this check by using the blessing and discarding the shoto. I think we're good. So 9. Alright, so we rolled a 9. Ouch, look at this. 10, 13, still not enough. And 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so we just barely made it. Good thing for that plus 9 modifier. So look at that. 9, 10, 14, 13, and we didn't defeat it by 4 or more. We defeated it by 3. Wow, so very fortunate. This villain is banished. The location is closed. Man, pretty sweet. I mean, it was really cool how we just went through that. But of course, the negative is that we only got 1 item or 1 boon. So let's go ahead and do a quick deck check here. I always like to do that after a game. Weapons there, blessings there. Okay, here's the state of Drelm's deck. Dun, da, da. Feathered mat, pretty cool. Scarab buckler up there. Can you guys see that? This is a new camera I'm working on today here. Oh, that's as far out as it's going to go. Okay, Vomit Clansman. He's actually a very interesting card, pretty useful. Move curse there, spell. So here is Drelm's deck. He decided to keep that Dijin favorite amulet and the Galvanic Chakram. It just had too cool of an effect there. So the reward for this scenario was the Tablet of Lost Languages. So, and with this thing, it says you can, on your charisma or diplomacy check, after you roll, reveal this card to add or subtract 2 to the result. And look at Drelm's charisma, right? It's just a d6. So unfortunately, I really think I'm going to have to hold on to this card because Drelm needs charisma and diplomacy buffs. But that means that he's going to have to either get rid of the Feathered Mat or the Dijin favorite amulet. And both of them are really cool. So I hate to lose them, but I think I'm going to have to hold on to it. Keep the Tablet of Lost Languages. Maybe Drelm's going back to school, and it's really hard for him to do that. So we lost the Dijin favorite amulet, but now we can go to a trader. So we got, once again, Drelm is going to hang out with his friends, the Smiths of Wati. He wants to go ahead and get some weapons. So what we're going to do, I mean, he has the option of going to the Ghoul Market and getting you know what, with the weapons here, he likes his weapons. We're going to forget the Smiths of Wati. He's going to actually go to the Ghoul Underworld. He's going to try to get himself some armors, because he wants some better armors. None of his armors really protect him from poison, which is really annoying. So, doing this, shuffling up the deck on the side here. Let's see what the Ghoul Market has. It has a Bone Lamellar, Crocodile Skin Armor, or the Burglar's Buckler. Okay, so the Bone Lamellar, let's see if that stops poison damage. Acid, combat, or poison. Oh, sweet. Recharge this card to reduce acid, cold, combat, or poison damage dealt to you by 3. Or by 5 if the damage is dealt by a Bane that has the Undead trait. Okay, well that's obviously, you know, much better than this armored coat. So, sweet. I mean, this one stops electricity damage, this one doesn't. But this one stops the poison damage, which is pretty much what I want. So we're going to trade the Ghoul Market. That's actually pretty cool how we found the Bone Lamellar in the Ghoul Market. It's thematically fitting. Alright, we're going to lose the armored coat. He just gained that Blessing of Pharasma. So we're going to trade these 2 items to the trader for the Bone Lamellar. We'll get rid of the Burglar's Buckler. I mean, Drelm is pretty awesome when it comes to defeating Bane or barriers. So I don't think he needs that. So we lose these 2 items in trade. We get the Bone Lamellar into our deck. We say thank you so much to the Ghoul Market. And that concludes this adventure. Alright, well, hopefully you enjoyed this scenario. I found it pretty challenging, pretty exciting how we had to do those 2 combats in the Scorched Obelisk. And they were, anyway, I enjoyed it. Well, hopefully you had a good time. I will have another scenario up shortly. Thank you.